God be in my head, my heart. God be to my left, God be to my right. Sometimes my wife says, in silence, it's necessary to listen beyond the noise for the silence. Got road construction going on or something going on over here, so a little bit noisier than I thought it was going to be. Spiritual journaling, a fairly common concept, an easy concept to think about, but one that if you don't practice it, if you haven't done it, you won't be able to pass it on to people. I love the idea of just finding a really cool journal to give to your group, your people that you're working with. And then to give them some challenges, maybe even to write out some challenges for them to try out in journaling. I've kept a number of them through the years. Sometimes it's just about scripture things. Be still and know that I am God. Still small voice, a light, silent sound of gentle whisper, sheer silence, gentle whisper, quiet whisper, gentle blow. All kinds of versions in the Bible interpret that line very differently. It's so interesting to me. So I had to look them all up and write them all down, and I go back to this every once in a while. Some of them imagine a voice, others just can't imagine a voice and make it the wind or the silence or the sheer silence. Kind of a cool thing. I found this one a little bit ago. Jesus, tender shepherd, hear me, bless thy little lambs tonight. Through the darkness be thou near me, keep me safe till morning light. That was a prayer that was that Randy, my wife, used, and she was taught as a kid, and her parents used it. It's been passed through the family for a lot of years. My son put a song together and sang it at Grandpa's funeral, and so I have to write about it and hold on to that, and it's just a place to go, oh my gosh, I forgot all about that. I look back on it and just see it. And sometimes it's just thoughts. All great spirituality is about letting go, says Father Richard Rohr. I just have to write down quotes sometimes and verses but it's amazing for me to leaf back and go through. Give your group a cool journal. If it's an ongoing group, encourage them to write down what happened at the end of each group, and to hold on to what they should remember and what they should hold on to, right? And how cool. I made a list of 10. You can bump around the website and find all kinds of reasons to journal. It's amazing. But just pick a topic and run with it. To say, today I'm lighting a candle for ... And write that down in your journal. Is it a person or a concern or the world but who would you light a candle for? For what would you light a candle for? Sometimes it's just the form of a letter, dear God, and you just got to write it. Silence. You just got to write that, dear God. Maybe it's your grateful or ungrateful list, and you get into the examen and you take a look at your life and the rhythms of it. What are you grateful? What are you least grateful for? Or at our church we talk about blessings and bruises and all kinds of things. Maybe it's a joy. Maybe it's a grief. Maybe it's that being in your zone, being out of your zone. But those contrasting things, just to write about. Page 66, really great list of examine ways of looking at things. Newspaper, if you're doing a newspaper or just opening up on your phone and looking at the news stories, what if you start to think about the news as a prayer book, and instead of just liking or not liking or being mad, what if that became your topics of prayer? Maybe it's just a word. Maybe it's a question that you need to write about. Maybe it's something you observe about the world. I ran into a man in the Appalachian Mountains, an old carpenter who writes poetry, and beautiful, amazing poetry, some of it funny, some of it religious, some of it mountain speak, some of it very good English prose. But on the left side, he just had a line. And the line was something he had observed about people. And he wrote that line, and then he wrote his poetry and wrote his thoughts on the other side. It was really cool. It was really, so he says to us, "Yep, always been good at observing." And we're like, what is that? And with that, he went around and told everybody in our little group what he had observed in us and what he had seen. It was amazing. But yeah, he wrote those in his journal. Maybe it's a Bible verse that sticks out, Lectio Divina kind of things. Maybe it's just what you're feeling today. Wouldn't it be cool if mad, sad, glad, right? But to get far beyond that and just start exploring all kinds of feeling words and wondering about how those feelings are. Let those journals be your prayer. Find a journal, keep it, run with it, especially this week as you practice this one. And you'll have things to share with your group, and how cool to get them excited because you're excited. Blessings.